Alright, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna be doing a tarot video for you guys today, and I'm kind of nervous about it because I've never done like an actual tarot video before. I've never really, I don't know, I feel like I need more time to really like to learn and understand tarot before I go ahead and feel super comfortable talking about it and feel like I know what I'm talking about and all that kind of stuff. So forgive me if I do say anything wrong or do anything wrong. I do not mean it, I promise. I'm still learning. But I do just want to go ahead and, because it's 2018 now, and a big thing that I want to do in 2018 is learn this and get really good at this, and I want to do this. So I have a planner, and then I have the Biddy Tarot 2018 planner, which is more like a workbook. I have a whole video out on that if you want to go ahead and watch my review on this and my like mini flip through of this to see if this is kind of the thing you're looking for. I will link to it. There will be a card for it. I'm not sure if the video for this is out yet. If it is, I will go ahead and put the link to that and the card and all that. This is the planner that I'm going to be using for my tarot learning as we go through the year. I have not used it yet. I'm a little behind, but that is okay. That is okay. So I'm gonna do what this video is, you know, six months later. What this video is, I'm gonna go ahead and do my year ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and do projected year ahead. I'm gonna do a year spread for you guys. So this New Year's spread, and I'm gonna go ahead and work in both books as well as give you like a little insight and whatnot. But I don't know if I'm gonna voice over or what I'm gonna do yet. I really don't know. I did not plan for this, but I want to do this, and it's getting too late, so I want to get this done and I want to get it on paper. I have to talk about the tarot deck that I'm going to be using for the majority of this year, that I'm going to be working with and really getting to know. And it is the Legend of Tarot, and I backed this on Kickstarter. I don't even know how long ago, 7 years maybe. It's been a very, very long time. 5 years, I don't know. It was by Deosil Designs. And yeah, it came in this box. You can see it is well loved. It is worn. And you might be wondering, well, hey, why do you have two? You know, what's going on? Well, this was out of print for a very long time, and then I noticed on their Etsy page that they were selling an updated version. So, you know, I wanted to go ahead and kind of show you. I'm going to be working with this deck throughout the year because this is the deck that I think I am so close to and everything like that. But I did just want to get the kind of updated version 2 or what have you, the second print of it, because, you know, I really love this deck. I wanted to see if there was any changes in like the art or anything like that. Plus, I really wanted to get the Happy Squirrel card. It is a card that I, to this day, regret not putting down extra for. During the Kickstarter, it was a Kickstarter exclusive, and it cost like super extra money. So I will never have it with the foiled back or the original, like, what's it called? The original coloring and all that kind of stuff. That is the major difference between the cards, by the way. They are separated by color. The major arcana are all black. The rupees or the coins are purple bordered. The bottles or the cups are blue. What is this? The swords are red, and the sticks or the wands are green, which I love and hate. I mean, I do really enjoy it because the color is always the significance, but then at the same time, in the old deck, every card had its own individual color, which means that it kind of also had its own individual kind of more in-depth. You know, if you want to look at color as something that, if color means something to you when you do a reading, like I feel like having each hue of green and blue and stuff like that could do, you know, it could mean something in your reading if that's something that you focus on. While in this, they're just kind of color coded. So it's cleaner, it's neater looking, but I really love the individualism of each card in the original version. So I did just want to show you that the box is different. I do prefer this box. It opens on the side. It's a lot sturdier, it's a lot thicker. It's just a lot nicer overall. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. When I do my studies for tarot, I am using this deck. That's why it's all together in order. So I'm studying with this one, and then I'm using this as my actual tarot deck. But I'm studying the suits and the cards and everything like that with this one. And I don't know if this is particularly a good deck. I am running into things that don't quite make sense with the traditional kind of readings. But you know, we'll see how life takes me with it. This is the deck that I severely resonate with. It makes so much sense for me to use this. So I do want to go ahead and just keep using this. So what I'm gonna do a quick shuffle of this, just a willy-nilly. Everything's already like kind of shuffled as it is, so I don't know where any cards are, I don't know anything like that. And I'm going to work from the workbook, follow that spread, and then I'm also going to put down my thoughts and stuff in here as well. I'm quite enjoying these top-down videos lately. It is very nice not to have to make myself half made up, at least. For the camera, I make myself look good. I can do this in my pajamas, just getting up from bed, and it's just great. But, you know, this is not going to be the norm, so if you guys do enjoy the face-to-face, you know, don't sweat it. It's not going anywhere. The New Year spread is a 12-card spread. Actually, I don't know if I want to do this. As much as I do enjoy this, I kind of want to do the traditional monthlies, like the yearly that has to do with the months. I might do this different. Like, I might make a different video on this. I like this, but I will come back to this. I'm going to focus right now on if I could get to it, my year ahead. And I'm gonna find a quick spread for you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. I suck at doing this. I really do. So I really want to make sure they're all mixed up. I'm so mad. I drew the whole suit of swords, like, for my yearly spread. What is that? Alright, so trying this again. Deck is cut. Alrighty. So, January is the 8 of bottles. February is the 7 of bottles. This is it. I'm sticking with it. This is the final. This is it. March is the Ace of Sticks. April is the Hermit. So far, all right side up. April. May is Strength. June, oh, everything's crooked. June is the Knight of Sticks, but reversed. January, February, March, April, May, June. July is the Queen of Sticks, right side up. August is the Tower. Oh boy. Alrighty. September is the Four of Bottles reversed. October is the 3 of bottles. November is the 6 of Swords. December is the 7 of Swords. And then the one in the middle is the year in general, and that is going to be the 5 of Swords. So, like I was saying, I'm not very good at this. I'm really learning it seriously right now. But I'm learning. Right off the top of my head, like, I do not know what any of this is supposed to mean. The only one that really rings out to me is this Tower, and it's like a destruction card, and I'm so worried about it. Okay, so January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, here in general. Okay, so I'm gonna take a picture of this just so that I remember. I know it's gonna be recorded here on the camera, but just so I remember. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do some notes and stuff like this. All right, guys. So I have been working for the past couple hours on this. I wanted to make sure everything that I am putting in here is accurate. Everything that I am talking to you about is accurate. You know what I mean? I wanted to do a voiceover, but I feel like this is just so much easier. I know what I'm doing. It's as it's happening, so it kind of makes more sense. I guess I can just add more stuff in here as time goes on, and as I kind of recognize signs and stuff like that, and kind of piece together, you know, as I learn as time goes on. So what I did, and you can kind of see the tip of it, I have gone through and I've wrote down meanings. Some of the cards don't make entirely, like, they don't make sense. Like the pictures of the card, some of the cards just don't make sense to what the typical meaning of a card is. Even like their own, for the Legend of Tarot, even their own kind of descriptions of the cards, some of them just do not make sense. And so I've also wrote in my own little notes about those. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start piecing things together, putting them on the paper, and kind of talking to you guys a little bit about them. And I hope that, you know, you find this enjoyable. Nothing, if anything, this is just my kind of reflection on what, on 2018, I guess, the future of 2018. So we are starting with January, and I pulled the 8 of Bottles. So I pulled the 8 of Bottles. It was right side up, and just, you know, to let you guys know, this is technically the 8 of Cups. I was talking about it before, and I don't really know how I feel too much about this card and pulling this card, because when I look up the meaning of what the typical 8 of Bottles card right side up means, it's a card that kind of talks about moving on, that you're stagnant, you're feeling very ghost-like, and you want to depart kind of from your normal routine and embrace the unknown. You're feeling very bored with stability, and you want more excitement. You're feeling a need for more excitement and something that's out of your control. And since we're already in the week of January, I can tell you that that definitely does ring true. I'm very much feeling like that. But when I look at this card, that's not really what I see. This card is depicting the Poe collector from the Legend of Zelda. These are all cards from the Legend of Zelda. Most of them feature actual characters from the games. And this character, I don't know, like, even when I just think about the character itself, it's someone who's comfortable at home, who is, you know, it's not someone who's going out on adventures and stuff like this. It's someone who's very comfortable just sitting back and letting people do things, you know, the things they want to do for them. it's honestly a lazy kind of card, because what you do, you collect the pose for this person. It's a very mysterious figure. So yeah, and in the card, the actual picture of the card, it's just, he's holding an empty jar, he's looking at it almost longingly, like he wishes to complete his collection. And I don't know if you guys can see, I'll zoom in a little bit more and get you in here. But it's someone who, to me, looks like he's longing to complete a collection, and the collection is a whole bunch of souls, basically in jars on his shelf next to his bed. And I don't, even though this is a right side up card and those are generally very positive cards, to me this kind of feels like what I'm getting from it is that I am basically collecting. I don't know if I'm shelving my emotions. Cups are an emotional suit. I don't know if I'm shelving my emotions or if I'm just kind of like putting souls on the shelf. Like I kind of feel like it makes more sense with the emotion thing. But so I don't know if this card is trying to tell me, like with both combined, that I need to stop doing this. I need to stop putting my emotions on a shelf and maybe wear them on my sleeve, talk more. So what I'm going to write down for January 2018, and let me get you back out so you guys can see what I'm writing. So what I'm feeling for January 2018 is that I am definitely shelving my emotions. So with that knowledge, with knowing that, and then knowing what the card is supposed to mean, maybe he's looking at the jar and he's gonna put the jar back down on the shelf empty, you know what I mean, and start his adventure. He's gonna leave this place behind. That kind of makes sense, you know what I mean? I kind of like thinking it like that. So what I'm going to write down is stop shelving emotions, break out of the typical routine, do something exciting, adventurous, yeah, pardon me if I misspell something, and a little scary. Because I can tell you right now, it's very true, the feeling ghost-like and like stagnant, and it being an emotional card, I haven't felt very person-like in a really long time. I feel like I'm suffering very heavily right now with a little bit of depersonalization, so I don't feel real, and a lot of things that have been happening, I'm not having a normal, typical reaction that I would. Things that are usually like exciting and surprising, like say a gift, for instance, something that I really want and someone goes out of their way to get that for me, instead of having like a like the typical reaction that I would, where I'd be very grateful, very exciting, it's almost like just a very disturbing kind of emotionlessness. I don't even know how to explain it. So I mean, I have been suffering mentally lately, so maybe this is like the kick in the butt that I need. Start 2018 and stop doing this. Stop putting your emotions on the shelf, and you know, do something about it. Break that mold, get out of your comfort zone kind of thing. I like get out of your comfort zone. Put down the jar empty. And I am gonna leave a blank space, if I can, for all of them I want to kind of just, you know, as time goes on, put stuff in here. And I just wanna put 8 of bottles down here so that I know. All right, and then February, I pulled the 7 of bottles. I will just go ahead and do a spoiler alert right now. There has been this pool, this spread is full of bottles, full of emotions this year. So I hope it's good emotions. That's what I want. And I'm gonna go take care of this sun, the shifting sun. For February, I pulled the 7 of bottles. So, and to me, this didn't really, I don't know, maybe because I'm not in February yet. The card does kind of make sense, at least the art on it. A little bit, I guess. I don't really understand the art of the card, I guess, compared to what it typically means. And like, basically what I wrote down is you're unable to see the truth of things. There's too many options, a prolonging choice. And that might be a choice between many options again. It might be a difficult choice, and it may be very overwhelming, and to trust yourself. I also wrote down not to let daydreams or your dreams interfere with this choice. So I don't really know. Like, if you just look at the card, it just, I mean, he's daydreaming, but like what is really the choice factor? It seems like the 7 of bottles is like a really big emotional kind of driven choice, and it's just he's waiting for these eggs to hatch, but he's daydreaming. So I don't know, the card art of this one kind of confused me a little bit, but I get the gist of it. It's just there's gonna be a choice that needs to be made, and there may be a lot of options, and it may be a little overwhelming. I definitely want to put down here, do not let dreams interfere with your decision. And yeah, I didn't write too much down over here for this one, so that's kind of all I'm getting from it. It just seems like he's kind of impatiently waiting, so there could be a little bit of impatience, I guess, in this decision. Careful not to be impatient. Think before you act. The next card I chose, I'm really happy to see it pop up. It is the Ace of Sticks or the Ace of Wands. And this card basically is telling me that there's going to be some kind of new creative growth in the month of March. There's going to be new roots that are being grown. So there's just going to be huge inspiration and growth creatively in the month of March. And it kind of makes sense when I'm thinking about it, like from now, because like I mentioned in one of my plan with me videos that I want to start my own business kind of. I really am loving the planner kind of community and the stickers and everything like that. And artistically, I think that's perfect for me. I would love to get into the community and kind of start my own business. And from what I'm seeing, by March is probably around the time I would be up and running. February is when I want to start to really start getting everything set up. So I see by March, maybe me opening my own shop on Etsy. I just want to write down new creative inspiration and growth. Burst of energy, I like that. Putting down roots. And this could just be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to necessarily mean, I said necessarily like 3 times in that sentence, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be related to my business. But when I just think about my future goals, that's kind of what comes up, and it kind of makes sense. So I'm just going to put like a little asterisk and put new business question mark, because that is exciting. And then the next card I drew was the Hermit. And this is he's the Sage of Light. So it's a perfect kind of choice, this card, for the Hermit, because he's a wise old man, often taking the form of an owl, the wise owl throughout the game, who just kind of instructs the main character Link as you play, and kind of gives you this knowledge and kind of leads you through a lot of different areas where you might get stuck. So first I do want to write that I drew the Hermit. The other thing about him, and it fits very perfectly, is he is pretty much, for a good majority of the game, he is the only real awakened sage. So he's spending his time in solitude. He is alone in the Temple of Time in the game, in the Sacred Realm. So he is just kind of there. And before you awaken, I forget how many years pass, but he just kind of waits with you for all those years, all alone. So it's very, very fitting that this will be a time of solitude, which is very fitting in my life because I am an introvert and I do require that in my life. So I do need time alone, meditation and thinking. I like that. So self-awareness during this month of April. Also wrote down that I need to work on personal development. There may be a need I am neglecting. So he's a wise guide through darkness, full of knowledge. The next card I drew is Strength, and I absolutely love the art on this card. This card I just really love because the Goron, they are rock people basically. They are foundation. They are kind of like support, and again, rocks. They are rocks. So the friendship between these two, because he absolutely loves her song. In the game, just seeing this and playing the games, it makes so much sense, and it's so cute and I love it. But I see this as my support, my rock in my life. And I see this as a deep friendship, a loving relationship. I see this as help and support. Maybe, you know, from what I'm getting from the card, maybe she can't physically walk or something like that. So he is supporting her physically. It could be a physical support, it could be a mental support. I wrote down emotional control and patience. So maybe this will be an emotional support card. I will write that as a question though. So emotional or physical support from a dear, close friend, person. I just really, the vibe I get from it is just support from someone I really, really care about. 2018 seems like it's gonna be a wild ride, so I don't know if I'm prepared for it. So June, I drew the reversed King of Sticks. Reversed, it makes a lot of sense if you know this character. This character is a very, when you meet them in the game, very impulsive, harsh, making incredibly hasty, harsh, and impulsive decisions. When his daughter goes missing, he is sentencing, I'm pretty sure, another character to death for her disappearance, blaming her, just blaming anybody and anyone for her disappearance. So I'm taking this as a, you know, be careful not to make impulsive, you know, check yourself. First of all, I'm gonna write this, check yourself. Because often, from what I'm reading, you may not even realize that you're doing this. Do not make impulsive, hasty decisions. Do not be harsh, pushy, or overbearing. It's kind of a definite check yourself. Do not set too high of expectations, or you will frustrate yourself. And then we're moving back all the way to July. In July, I got the normal Queen of Sticks. And I see this as a very caring and nurturing card. I do not know specifically what it might be about. In the card itself, it is someone caring for a child, probably their child. I am not someone who wants kids, so I'm not gonna take it in the literal sense that the card is presenting to me. That is definitely not gonna be happening. So I wanna write down caring and nurturing, and I just have a whole lot of just kind of keywords written down, like protective and vibrant, enthusiastic, concern for others. I really like this one. Listen first, act second. So yeah, I just see this as a very, very nurturing card. The outside of the world looks very kind of going into winter, which doesn't necessarily season-wise make sense for July, but I mean, it does look a little harsh in the outside. But I just see very caring, loving, nurturing. I don't want to take that as a literal sense, and I don't think I should. What is sticks? What are wands? So it's inspiration, creativity, spiritually. So this could be like This could be anything, honestly. This could be nurturing my inspiration, nurturing my creativity. So I do want to write that down. August I'm not excited for. So I drew the tower, and as much as I love the art on the card, this is just kind of an omen of something I'm just not looking forward to happening in August. So something is gonna happen in August that is absolutely going to change everything. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a negative card, you know what I mean? It could be a good change, but everything is gonna change. Everything's gonna turn upside down, and it's gonna be a rebuilding, basically. I'm gonna write down, feels like everything's out of control. Just an omen, may have built foundation on shaky ground. I hate that I drew this card, but I want to think of it in the most positive light as possible. So the next card that I drew after is the reversed 4 of bottles. So I'm just going to turn that right side up so that I can actually look at it. Let's see, so this is for September. Reversed, it said a good offer may come your way, but you're going to have to work for it. Keep your eyes and your heart open for new opportunities. May be reluctant to open heart to somebody, withdrawing, isolating yourself instead. So this card is it screams reflection to me. So I'm going to write that at the very top. You basically, in the game, you fight a dark version of yourself. It is a very mirrored room that you are in when you do this. Everything is mirrored on the bottom. So I may very be a battle between the dark parts of my brain, the things going on out there. How do I want to word this? A battle against darkness for something positive. Need to work for it. Eyes and heart open. The next card was a reversed 3 of bottles. Like I said, a lot of bottles, a lot of reversed bottles. So this depicts a scene in Majora's Mask. It is the milk bar. It is a patron and the bar owner having a drink together. They are clinking their glasses together in celebration, possibly, cheersing to each other. When I looked this card up, it kept mentioning, and when I was doing notes before and learning before, this card usually indicates something emotional between a group of 3. So a group of 3 is a big keyword I want to write down. It makes sense. We are a group of 3, so that is something I want to keep at the top and keep in my brain. But I don't think it's going to really relate to that when everything else has been all about creativity and kind of like, or maybe that's just what's in my mind and I'm projecting that, but that's kind of what I'm getting from it. So I'm gonna stick to that. So I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm just gonna, creativity being stifled, forced to conform, isolating self from the group, lost touch with those you are close to. So it could still mean, it could still relate to the group of 3. So the next card then that I drew was the 6 of Swords. It's just a very nice card to see, I guess, because it's hope, brighter future and travel, recovery, achieving, and overcoming obstacles. So the 7 of Swords is what I pulled for December, and it still rings true though. It doesn't make sense because he's so like happy with himself. So I don't really know if I should follow along with what like secrets and risks of getting away with something, needing to overcome obstacles. Like, to me, when I look at this card, I see someone who is very proud of his work, someone who has been working for a very long time. He's very good at what he does and he's proud of his work. Like he's lining it up for customers, and he's, he puts a lot into what he does, and just that smile, like I can't. So the way I'm taking this is someone who is proud of his work mentally need to appreciate the work that I do. So that is what I'm gonna write down here. I'm also gonna go ahead and put down the overcome challenges and obstacles again, because, you know, mentally I need to overcome the obstacle to appreciate the things that I do, because that is a problem that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. There is one more card that I'm going to get to in just 1 second, but this is what I have so far for my year ahead. So I am going to use, I guess, this note page to do my final card, which was the 5 of Swords. And I'm just gonna go ahead and write that this is year in general or as a whole. This is another card that I really truly do not understand the art compared to, you know, their description and the actual description of a typical 5 of Swords card. This is like a card of self-destruction, bullying, arguments, conflict. The card is described by the people that made it as like a competition card, pitting your skill of something against others who are also proficient in the skill, and it's pitted as a really good card, as challenge. And I do get challenge and camaraderie and that kind of stuff from it, but I just, where is like, I don't know how to compare it to like self-destruction, bullying, and arguments and conflict. Maybe conflict as a competition, but that's, I see this card as very friendly, and I don't see it as very, I don't know, definitely not self-destruction or bullying. So I'm just going to write that there are going to be challenges, definitely. Camaraderie. And I know I'm spelling that wrong, forgive me. A lot of mental work. And I will come back, I guess, to fill that in. But I am struggling a little bit with these cards when it comes to learning, unfortunately. Maybe I just need to study them a little bit more. It's such a friendly card, and I know where this location is, and it is like a little competition kind of mini game thing in the game. And I just do not see self-destruction or bullying. Definitely no arguments, but I see like fun conflict, you know what I mean? Like positive conflict, competition. I just don't know. So I hope you guys did enjoy this. Again, I'm featuring the Legend of Tarot cards by Deosil Designs. I will link to their Etsy page down below. I cannot guarantee that they are still in stock. If they are still in stock, I wholly recommend them. The art on them is pretty dang fantastic. It's definitely a must if you are a fan of the games. At the very least, it is a wonderful collector's item if you are not into your typical, if you're not into tarot at all. Like, that's how I originally started. They were just gonna be a collector's item. I could not pass them up. Something screamed at me to buy them, so I did. But yeah, guys, I am gonna go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you did. You know, if you enjoy this kind of content for me, I will definitely be sure to do more for you guys in the future. But just let me know. Let me know down below if this is what you like. All information, again, will be listed in the description bar down below. And yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. I have no idea when or what that is gonna be, but I hope I see you guys there. I will see you then. Bye. Bye, guys.